name is Jay Shannon. Jay, my last name is Shannon. I'm here representing the Malcolm X Site Development Committee. I'll keep my comments fairly short. I'll say some things prayerfully that will remind us of who we are and what club we belong to first. When I say that club, I mean I'm referencing humanity. As people, we're all brothers and sisters in that way. And then as things begin to progress, and either as we evolve in some cases, or as we, I would say, split up, we begin to just aggregate ourselves into different cultures. We start to say one is this and one is that. But again, foundationally, we are a member of the same club. We all need air to breathe, food to eat, water to drink. We all would love to have wonderful families and raise them in a healthy environment. The reason why I'm talking about humane or being human is because I represent someone that I consider to be one of the greatest humanitarians in American history. Malcolm X, or Malcolm in the Middle, from Nebraska standpoint, represents a story of perseverance, endurance, truth, and I believe we can all definitely connect with that. And with that connected, after we're connected with that, I think we can transcend those divisive things that separate us from different pockets and go right back to us being human beings. And perseverance, endurance, and truth is something that is worth fighting for, regardless of what lines we may not want to cross, or the lines we've drawn ourselves into. So LB 1024 gives us a unique opportunity to put a stamp on the entire history of the United States as Nebraska, as the birth site as one of its greatest humanitarians. Malcolm Little's story represents a story of perseverance because we know where he began, his humble beginning. He represents the unspoken, the voiceless, the motherless, and the fatherless. From that point, it represents a story of perseverance because of experience in his own situation. He found himself in a situation that he had to persevere. He had to endure. From that point, it became a story and a journey of truth. How do I get to the bottom of the situations I found myself in? And in that matter, how do I do what I can to ensure that no one else finds themselves in those same situations? I think we can all connect with that. And I will candidly say that we have built monuments for less men, spent more money for causes that are not worth what I'm speaking of today. And to talk about economic development, my yellow light is on. I got 30 seconds to talk real fast. This situation will bring tourism or opportunity for tourism greater than any other situation that we've been talking about. I was here for another hearing and I heard plans of wonderful basketball courts and things of that nature that will boost our economy. But there is nothing greater than for us to be proud in representing where we are from as Omaha, Nebraska, or Nebraska at large. Even though I proudly wear my red hen wherever I am, it also brings me another twinkle in my eye and a pep in my step when I say I'm from Omaha, the birthplace of Malcolm X, Malcolm Little. He represents the greatest story of human life that I've seen and I've heard. He's from the mighty O. It is our opportunity. I thank Mr. Wayne, I thank Mr. McKinney for giving us the opportunity to do so and put our stamp on the legacy of our great state, from the Panhandle all the way to District 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, any questions?
Any questions?
Good afternoon, committee members. First of all, let me thank Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney for your leadership in bringing forth LB 1024. My name is Michael Maroney, and it's Michael Marony, and I'm the president of the Omaha Economic Development Corporation. Omaha Economic Development Corporation has been around 45 years. We are what's considered a certified CDC, that's Community Development Corporation, a federally certified CDC, and also we have federally certified CED, Community Economic Development Corporation. Primarily what we have been doing is affordable housing, job creation, and entrepreneurial development, targeted specifically toward North Omaha. But what I want to mention talk about briefly. Like I said, we were founded in 1977. In 1978, we retained a consultant to come in and look at our community, North Omaha. And we wanted to look at all those quality of life issues that impact any community. That's education, housing, jobs, health disparities. And we asked them to quantify what North Omaha's conditions were. This is in 1978. This is compared to the rest of the city. They did that, and we used that kind of as a guide as we move forward. In 2005, we decided, let us take that 1978 study. We commissioned the experts from the University of Nebraska in Omaha to take that document, look at those same conditions that were quantified back in 1978, which talked about the disparity between the African American community in North Omaha and the rest of the city. In every single condition, the disparity gap actually widened. It had gotten worse for the African American community. That led a lot of us to believe that although there were many organizations doing many good things, for some reason we weren't making a difference. I have actually been working all my adult life in North Omaha, and that's over 50 years. I have seen a lot of studies, some of them I've been a part of. And I can tell you, from my position, what was the problem? Came up with beautiful plans wound up on shelves. The reason being, there was no resources behind it. There was a combination of both no money and no political will, which was mentioned earlier. We now have an opportunity to help North Omaha come out of, we talk about in the pandemic, North Omaha has been in the pandemic a lot longer than you. Just want to say, so hopefully you can get behind 1024, advance it and move it forward. And with that, I got my yellow light on, I don't want to go over yet. Take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee?
Want to breathe this air for a minute. Willie Barney, WILLIVBARNEY. I appreciate Senator Wayne, Senator Hunt, all of the senators that are here and listening. And I agree, Senator Blood. I'm hoping that there will be more conversation today. I've worked the last 15 years, dedicated my life to helping and working with many of the folks behind me, and some that have left, and thousands of others that are outside of this room, working to try to improve Omaha. And this is a historic moment. I hope the senators in this room realize how historic this is. I don't think there's any other hearing that's going on in this entire 60 days that's more important than what we're doing right here today. And I say that because of what Mr. Maroney just talked about. When we started before the pandemic, the unemployment rate in North Omaha was 9%. That was the lowest that we were able to get it in the last 30 years. As a matter of fact, after all of the work that we've done together, what we realized was at 9%, it was the same unemployment rate that it was in the 60s when Dr. King went to Washington and marched all over the country to address unemployment with the March on Washington for Jobs. So literally 50 years has gone by, and we're talking about some of those same issues. The important piece of this is that you now have in your hands the opportunity to address this at the key word that has been left out, scale. There are tons of great programs, initiatives, organizations doing work in the city, but we've never had the investment at the scale that's necessary. In 1968, the Kerner Commission came back and said, unless you address the problems at the scale, you will create two Americas. You will have a Black America and a white America. We have inherited that promise made back in 1968. That's what Nebraska is facing. We all talk about Dr. King in the I Have a Dream speech. The speech that I want to hit on today is what he called the other America. What he said was, America, Black people are living on an island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. Nebraska, at 1.8% unemployment rate, has an island of poverty in North and South Omaha right now. What I mean by that is you have the ability in your hands right now to take this to scale. We're not asking you to do all the work for us. The organizations, the people, the individuals that are in our community, they have rolled up their sleeves. When we have worked together, you heard from the chief of police, we reduced gun violence by 74%. We increased graduation rates from 50% to 80%. And then COVID hit us, the pandemic hit us. And so now we, as Senator Wayne said, we reverse back to where we were in 2008. But the critical piece is, with this investment that Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney and I believe Senator Hunt has signed on to, this gives us finally the ability to take the investment to scale, which has never been done. Nowhere in the United States, nowhere. But here we are in the center of the country. Omaha, the state of Nebraska, has the opportunity right now to show the rest of the country that when we say qualified census tracts, there are 25 in our district, 25 of them. How can we utilize these dollars and directly, intentionally, on purpose, address those funds and take these solutions that we've identified to scale? I know that's a challenge to the governor. I know it's a challenge possibly to other senators that are here, but we're encouraging you as champions of this effort because you have this data. They're not all here to hear what you're hearing, but we ask you to be the champions of this. Move this forward. This is a historic moment, not just for North Omaha. It's a historic moment for South Omaha. It's a historic moment. And when these communities are economically benefited, it will add $4 billion of economic activity to the region, which will dramatically impact the state. We greatly appreciate your time, your attention, and we're asking you to make this investment. The actual transformation plan, and I'm wrapping up soon. The actual transformation plan asked for $1.1 billion. So I don't want you to feel like $450 million is too big. That's a portion of what it's going to take over the next 4 years to get us to where we need to be. I appreciate your time, and I really would love to take any questions that you may have. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Barney. Any questions? Senator Love.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, Mr. Barney, for being here. It's been stated that North Omaha has problems with education, with mental instability, with a few other things. This $450 million will build some houses, will build infrastructure, will build the 24th Street project or whatever. Will it have any effect on those other issues? Or is that a bigger problem that we have?
First of all, there's mental health wrapped into the plan, and then Commissioner Rogers mentioned, I believe the county's looking at $40 to $50 million to help address mental health, and there's more needed. But I appreciate the question, I really do, because the transformation plan that I mentioned at $1.1 billion, it takes into account that the state is going to do $450 million. The school district, through Dr. Logan, has $200 million that was allocated to them through the funds that they have. So that's $600 million. And so we're building up and with those other entities. And she is specifically with that work they're doing at the school district and with all those community partners, addressing the educational components from cradle to career, pathways, academies, making sure that our youth have more opportunities. More money is needed, but as we look at the comprehensive plan, what we love about what Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney are doing is they're driving the focus. This is a pro-business. Nebraska says it's pro-business. This strategy is pro-business. It's about employment. It's about training the employees that need those jobs, creating entrepreneurship, reinforcing and building in those districts, and making sure people have a place to live. So this plan, specifically this component, is truly dealing with the economic issues that have been really left out for the last 50 years.
We've come up with $650 million. That is about $450 million short. Is that private investment, or is that where's that?
I think it's a combination of the county, and they're looking at least $50 million that will help specifically North and South Omaha with mental health. The city has identified, my understanding right now, there's $15 million that will be allocated There's another 10 million, I believe, that will go into public spaces that could impact Malcolm X, will impact 24th and Lake as public spaces. There's money that will go into housing. So if you look at the county, in the city, there could be another 50 to 100 million added there. And yes, private entity now. This sets the environment now for private investment. So real estate firms, banks, other institutions, we're one of the ones that have that partnership with the American National Bank. We have, even in the last year, have dollars coming in deposits that then will be leveraged to help people buy homes and to start businesses. We're already doing it. And so yes, 100%, I believe the state does 450, the city and the county help us get up to a higher level, the education system adds in 200 million. We're closer than we think if the state is able to deliver their piece. And so we're not asking the state to do it all. We're asking the state to do that 450 million, and then that will encourage private enterprise to finally make a bigger impact in the South.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. Really appreciate your questions.
Thank you. Mr. Barnes,
Thank you. Thank you for your
I am Shannon Snow, Executive Director of the Omaha Municipal Land Bank. That's SHANNONSNOW. Vice Chair Hunt and members of the Urban Affairs Committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify in support of LB 1024. I often tell people if you knew the Land Bank in 2019, you don't know the Land Bank today. Over the last 2 years, the Land Bank has undergone significant restructuring. During this process, we took a hard look at our mission and determined that economic development and building generational wealth are things that we are uniquely positioned to support. In April 2021, we modified our policies to prioritize the sale of property within the historically redland areas to the residents of those areas. This prioritization gives residents equal consideration to efforts like affordable housing and community development when we are determining the final sale of their property. Each year, the Land Bank maintains approximately 350 properties, most of which are available for purchase. Currently, there are 202 buildable lots available, but only 75 are ready for development today. Our lots come with challenges: significant grades, infrastructure availability, overgrown trees, and crumbling historic foundations represent just a few issues that make construction complicated for even experienced developers. When this is combined with lending challenges, it becomes difficult to dispose of property to the owner-occupant buyer. The passing of the North Omaha Recovery Act will help ensure that the Land Bank, our partners, and community members have the resources available to convert these empty lots into affordable housing. Furthermore, the proposed tools will ensure the creation of safe, affordable housing stock is available to residents in North Omaha. The proposed holistic approach to affordable housing and homeownership will help ensure the Land Bank's vision for increasing generational wealth in North Omaha is achieved.
Any questions? Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Candace Price. That's CANDICEPRICE. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to speak on this bill. I am a proponent of LB 1024, and I'm speaking today as a business owner, a small business owner in the North Omaha community. I live, work, own businesses, and commercial property all in District 13. I've been able to see the impact from the pandemic through today. I am the co-owner of Home 2 Model Sales, which I'm representing, which is an auto dealership, and Sapphire Grill, which is a food services business. I also most recently have served over this last year as the executive director of the Nebraska Women's Business Center. So I work as an entrepreneur, and literally each and every day I work directly with entrepreneurs, those in business and those looking to go into business. In 2019, one of my companies had to shut down completely, Sapphire Grill. As soon as College World Series canceled, every event followed, and we needed to figure out what to do. Because we do own other businesses, thankfully we were able to continue going forward, but I've watched those who had to close their doors. We have a building that's sitting empty right now that funding could assist in renovating in order to create more jobs. It's important that we talk about what some of these issues have caused underlying. When you're trying to keep a business open, you may be making a decision over which bills you pay. That has hurt some of our community as far as credit. Now, how does that concern us? Well, now they're further away from home ownership, they're further away from good transportation, And if you've never heard the expression, it's very expensive to be poor. It's very expensive to have low income and to be underserved. And you have an opportunity to impact that, to affect that. And I appreciate the time, energy, and effort that's gone into this. I sincerely appreciate Senator McKinney and Senator Blaine for having the energy to do this when everyone is absolutely busy, but you understand the importance just by seeing who all is in this room. Further, I want to talk about just supporting this type of economic development, as you've already heard, how it alleviates crime, lessening pressure on our law enforcement, but also other wraparound services. This community has come together. I don't know if you've ever seen partnership in this way that you're seeing in this room today and that we've seen over the last year in preparing for this North Omaha Recovery Plan, which is why I support it. It's been planned with intention. There have been numerous meetings that can't even be counted, I'm sure, at this point, just in order to be results-driven, continue to partner, and continue to grow. And as you all are very well aware, as you increase the revenue of small business owners, you increase the revenue of the state, which is what we would like to do to have that larger impact. I'm going to take off my small business hat at this point, because I know you all very much understand that. Now I just want to talk to you as your neighbor. I'm a single parent. I've been a single mom for 20 years. My daughter is actually now older than I was when I had her. She's a graduate of Omaha North High School, growing up without a dad, and graduating from Omaha North. She's now a student majoring in civil engineering. She'll be returning here this summer to intern at HDR in Omaha. And I just want you to understand what the impact of supporting your small business owners, supporting this entrepreneurship landscape, what it does. I understand very well where I could have been. As a teen mom, being 20 years old, testifying in a capital murder trial because of the person that killed her father. But I'm here. I'm a business owner, I'm a property owner, and that's because of the North Omaha community supporting its entrepreneurs. I didn't leave this state when I had the opportunity to because of all the possibility that's here. So I want you to understand on a personal level how this affects the community, how it affects the state, how it actually affects our nation. I'm very thankful for the chance to be here, and I will relinquish the rest of my time.